Hi guys, it's Wednesday. I just wanted to start doing this project of 30 game related topics. The first one today is, what was your first video game? Now, my first video game I ever played, I don't know exactly the first one because I started playing video games really early, like before I can even remember things. Because my grandma had an Atari and I had an older brother and he would play on the Atari all the time. And then so as soon as I figured out how to control my motor functions, I started playing Atari right there with him. So my first console was the Atari 2600. It came out in October of 1977. It was originally called the Atari VCS, which was for Video Computer System. But in 1982 they shortened the name to just the Atari 2600 because of its part name, which was actually CX2600. So that's kind of a mouthful, so they just shortened it to 2600. So that's where that came from, in case you were wondering. Knowledge. They originally sold for $1.99 and they came with the one game, which was Combat, which was kind of like this little, you fly tanks, you don't fly tanks, fly airplanes and shoot tanks and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was a great game. When the Atari 2600 originally launched, they had 8 other video games that were available to purchase separately at that time. So it's not like some game consoles that only have like 1 or 2 games when they release. They had 8, which was a great big number back then because most games were still on like the big arcade, massive arcade things still, and you didn't have them at home. So 8 was an amazing accomplishment in my opinion. As far as the first games I played, like I said, I don't remember the very first game I ever played. But ones I used to play all the time on Atari were Gauntlet, of course. Red Valkyrie, your life force is running out. Rampage, because who doesn't like to be a giant lizard or gorilla tearing shit up? I do. Frogger, of course. How can you not have Frogger? Jumping little guy. Sometimes I would just get really frustrated if I got really far and then I died, and then I would just sit there and run him underneath cars over and over again. I had problems as a child. I'm better now. And finally, last but not least, one of my other favorite games was Pitfall. I liked how it was kind of a puzzle game. You had to figure out okay, I have to swing on this vine and then I have to jump off that and I have to not fall in there and I have to roll. I think you could roll. Could you roll? I don't remember. I think you could roll. I think you jumped and then rolled. I don't remember, but those were my first games. Comment below and tell me your first games or your first gaming experience. I'd love to know. Bye.